Stop. Let me get a good look at it. Ooh. Let me get a good look at it. Stop. Let me get a good look at it. Ooh, so thick.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome if you're new. Today is the start of me showing you what I eat over the course of a few days. I typically only eat one cooked meal a day, but that one meal is really dense, really nutritious. It keeps me satiated throughout the day, energizes me, all that good stuff. Spliced in with some juices, some smoothie bowls, and maybe some snacks here and there, just depending on what I'm doing. Overall, my approach to eating has been really intuitive since I've started on my plant-based journey and just caring about my health more in general. I was eating a lot more earlier on in my plant-based journey because I was coming fresh on being a college athlete and starting that journey, doing all of that. So that definitely required more volume, more calories, things of that nature. As I've moved on from that phase into a phase where I'm still very much active, but don't require the same amount of food or calories as I once did, I've naturally found myself in this one cooked meal a day spot. One, because of activity level and regulating energy and things of that nature, but also just having done a bit of research, experimented with different eating methods. I've tried intermittent fasting. I fasted from food for up to 30 days at one point, really just trying to dial in on what I know my body needs. And especially going through fasting and things like that, your body takes on different traits, if you will. Coming out of a fast, your body's definitely not the same. Just experimenting with things like that, and even if you're not gonna fast, experimenting with different eating methods can really help you find what works best for you. Plus, I spoke about this in my videos in the past, having to digest 3 big meals all day, every day, really just takes a toll on the body over time. So I found once I started implementing lighter meals at the beginning or end of my day, it really helped optimize my energy, and it ultimately helped me feel better. So this is what I just know what works for me, and I encourage you to try and find what works best for you too. But as for today, it's about 1:30 in the afternoon right now. I haven't had anything yet. I'm still fasted from the night before, and typically I break my fast every day with a smoothie or a juice. It's watermelon season right now, so I've been going hard on the watermelon juice. It's one of the best things for you and one of my personal favorites. So I'll have some of that to start my day today. Got to go out and run a few errands, which I'll bring you along for some of them, and we can get the day started. So let's get into it. If there's one thing about me, I love a small local health food store that has literally everything I need, except for that one thing that you saw that I that I missed. I'm gonna go stop and get that right now. But I don't know what it is. It's just, I like grocery shopping as it is, but shopping in small places like that just have all the little health products that really all kind of align with the lifestyle I'm already living. It just makes it feel so much better just having a shopping experience, because most of the time, whether it's just specific to living a healthy lifestyle, whether it's eating out or going grocery shopping or anything pertaining to what it takes to support your lifestyle, you're kind of always on guard in a way, as far as having to think ahead or think about how you can substitute or think about how you can maneuver to get what you need out of the experience. Whereas if you go to a place that just is gonna just have everything you need, that makes it so much better. It just offers so much more peace of mind. That's what I really appreciate about a place like this. Except for the fact that they didn't have that one thing I was looking for, which is some mushrooms, oyster mushrooms, which I'm looking for a recipe that I'm creating for my short form stuff on Instagram. So check my feed out if you haven't already. But yeah, let me go get this one thing. I'll get back to the house and I'll show you guys what I'm having for my one cooked meal today.
Sensei.
Wale.
That's why my eyes are a shade blood burning. The way that we kiss isn't like any other way that I be kissing when I'm kissing. What I'm missing, won't you listen? Brown sugar, babe. I get high off your love, I don't know how to behave. Brown sugar. When you're close to me, you love me right down to my knees. And whenever you let me hit it, sweet like honey when it comes to me. Skin is caramel with the cocoa eyes. Even got a big sister by the name of Chocolate. Brown sugar, babe. I get high off of love, don't know how to behave.
One cooked meal of the day is served. As you saw, this wasn't a crazy cooking process because I was mostly using leftovers. And that's typically what my meals consist of leftovers. And this goes back to the point that I made about like batch cooking before. It saves you so much time on the back end. You could think of it as meal prepping, but not in the sense that you have like your specific meals laid out. I kind of don't like that idea. Every day I'd like to have something new or a different arrangement, some variety, you know what I mean? To know that my meals are planned out to the T every single day, it just seems boring to me. So this is my preferred method of cooking and eating. And yeah, obviously this didn't take much time at all. Just maybe about like 10 minutes total, 10-15 minutes to like heat everything up. But even so, even if I am cooking different elements from scratch, I really don't like to be in the kitchen all that long anyway. If I am cooking stuff from scratch, at most it'll probably take me like 30, maybe 40 minutes if I'm feeling fancy and want to just go all out. 30 minutes max is like from start to finish is when I want to be out of the kitchen. If you do it enough, if you make enough things from scratch throughout the week, you're gonna have one of these days like I just had, like a clean out the fridge day, where you just take everything that you've made throughout the week and you just have a meal that's already done for you. I mean, I don't know how other people like to eat, but I like to have a lot of different elements on the plate, as you can see, and that just makes it more fun, and you have variety every single day. So batch cooking, meal prepping, and utilizing your leftovers are 3 easy ways to like optimize your eating experience, cut down on time, and still feel satisfied in what you're making. So yeah, I'm gonna take care of this, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. Oh my God. That feeling when you finish all the dishes and then you find out that you left one. That's gonna have to get dealt with later. That's the kitchen clean though. There's one thing about me, like my day cannot progress unless the kitchen is cleaned after like I've cooked or, you know, anything like that. It just feels so stressful to have all the clutter and for it to be dirty and everything. So that always has to get done. Also, I definitely prefer to hand wash my dishes. I don't know what it is about the dishwasher, it just never gets the job done. So I literally got like a dead stock dishwasher here in this place. It's early evening now, so now is usually the time that I replenish on my hydration, whether that be a juice or a coconut water. Today I think I'm gonna go coconut water just because like I have a few that are just in there and ready to go, as opposed to me having to like make a whole juice right now with the juicer, cut up all the fruit and stuff, and then clean the kitchen again. Like I don't wanna have to do all that. So it'll be coconut water. And then I'm gonna prep my smoothie bowl for tonight, which will basically just consist of me making the smoothie mix, pouring it in one of the Ninja Swirl containers so that when it does come tonight for me to actually use it, it just blends it up and it's already made. Okay, so we got coconut water in hand. And while I was about to prep this acai mix for my smoothie bowl later, I figured I'd take this chance to actually show you guys how I do it, because that's one of my most asked questions is how do you make your smoothie bowls? So yeah, let's get into it. It's really easy. Okay, first off is these acai packets from Trader Joe's. If you see my grocery haul video, you know that I go to Trader Joe's specifically for these and the coconut milk that are, you know, just straight up ingredients, like 1 to 2 ingredients, and that's it. First step, you get these out of the bag, get these out the packet. Now these can be hard to blend on their own, so I just like break it up into like smaller pieces so it's easier to blend. So I just put them down somewhere and give them a few smashes. So that's good. So they're like, you know, more malleable now, broken up into smaller pieces. So when they do blend, it'll be easier. And the first thing I always start with is the coconut milk. I don't really measure a lot of things. Just follow me here. Just stick with me in your high power blender. I typically just do enough to like cover the blade, maybe a little bit more. Then we cut open these acai packets. Then we get the acai packets in. Then you want to go in with frozen banana. I get the organic sliced frozen banana from Sprouts. The banana is key because it gives it a lot more texture. It amps up the natural sweetness and it makes it smoother overall, which is really nice. Again, I don't really measure, but I'd say maybe a cup. And then I just put some wild blueberries in there too. Frozen blueberries, organic frozen blueberries or organic frozen wild blueberries. It just amps up like the berry flavor because acai on its own is like pretty bitter. It's good for you because it's like really high in antioxidants. It's really one of the densest berries, nutrient dense berries, but it's bitter on its own. So to combine it with the banana, natural sweetness, to combine it with more of the berry flavor from the wild blueberries, and then we're gonna add in some maple syrup here too in a bit, but that'll really just bring up the flavor of the acai naturally. So I'm gonna get some of this in here too. Maybe about a half a cup. And then lastly, maple syrup. And what's great about making these at home is that you can control the sweetness level that you want. I'm gonna blend this up, get it into the little canisters, and that'll be that. Oh, hey, what's up? So it's Friday now. I just got back from the gym. And in addition to the typical smoothie or juice that I usually start my day with, on gym days or days that I'm more physically active, I'll throw in a little protein shake. Sometimes I'll make it myself with things that I have around. You can make a really good, just like at home, clean, plant-based protein shake with, you know, just nuts and seeds. If you throw in some hemp seeds, some pumpkin seeds, maybe some peanut butter in there if you want, you could really get a lot out of those ingredients just like organically. But I literally get sent so much protein powder just from like being a food creator, and most of them are clean and they have like good ingredients and align with the way I live already, so that's a big bonus. But don't trip if you don't have like the perfect protein powder. You could definitely make your own makeshift protein shake. It's not even makeshift, it's really just like a wholesome protein shake with natural ingredients. So sometimes I'll do that, but I have so much protein powder and I gotta use it all, so usually you just use a scoop of protein powder with like some water or some plant milk in addition to the smoothie that I make or juice. For today, we're gonna be making a smoothie, so I'll show you how I make one of those. Okay, so it's about time for my one cooked meal of the day. And this is definitely gonna be a component of it. I just made this for my short form recipe content. It's part of this restaurant series that I'm building out. I think it's gonna be really dope, so you should check it out. These are fried jerk oyster mushrooms with a little, you know, scallion garnish and some pickled carrots, daikon radish, and some jalapeno. Just kind of fusing some flavors from across different cultures. So yeah, the series is called My Imaginary Restaurant. And you know, it's basically just showcasing some dishes that I would put on the menu if I had a restaurant. You know, I get this question asked a lot too, will I ever open a restaurant? I mean, I don't know. Restaurant business is really hard. I mean, I've seen a fair amount of like really good vegan restaurants, even in LA, like closed down. So the restaurant business is hard enough as it is. I don't know about a vegan restaurant. I would like to think that whatever my take on vegan food would draw and sustain, you know, an audience, a crowd, if you will. But who knows? You know, it's just, you know, life is crazy, so we'll see what happens. But for now, we're entertaining the thought of my imaginary one here with this dish here. Building out a few more recipes with it. This is just the first of maybe 5 that I'm gonna do. This is gonna be a component of my lunch today, of my bowl. I don't know what else I'm gonna put in there yet. I think I still got some leftovers. Might have to steam up some veg or something, but let's see what we come up with.
It's not that I don't want you here. Yeah. It's something about the way you stare into my eyes. I know that I don't make things clear. No. I fall for you every time I try to resist you. We can get away. Palm trees, beach views, food and everything. All I wanna hear is in the visions no replay. Sit right next to you. I try not to
want you to give us your way, but we don't really want to. I just wanna get away and sit right next to you.
And here is today's cooked meal. First off, we got some steamed asparagus, raw mixed green salad. I always like to have raw greens in addition to cooked vegetables. It just aids digestion. And with proper food combining, this can all go down like really smoothly. Basically, you want to eat from light all the way to heaviest. On the lightest end would be the raw veggies. On the heaviest would be like your carb source or your starches, like a quinoa or like sweet potato or something like that. But in addition, we have some pickled carrot and daikon radish, avocado with chili oil, quinoa, some of the fried mushrooms that I was talking about, some leftover chana, and the pumpkin seed tofu to round it all out. On the days I go to the gym and stuff, I definitely need a heftier meal, and something like this always hits the spots. It doesn't have to be so difficult. It's really simple to just put something together that really fuels you, no matter whether you're eating 1 meal a day or 3 or what have you. So I'm about to get down on this, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. So it's about 10:30 p.m. right now, and I'm about to make my smoothie bowl for the night. Now, I mean, you might be alarmed by that time just because, you know, I don't know who eats at 10:30 at night. I eat sometimes later, to be honest. First of all, I'm on a later schedule in general. I sleep in late, I go to bed pretty late. Nothing too insane, but this is just my natural rhythm. And people have asked me about, you know, eating windows and specific times and stuff like that. I don't follow the clock per se as to say like when I'm supposed, because I know there's like raw until 4 or to like break your fast after 12, things like that, you know, which is a good, you know, guideline if you're just starting with, you know, maybe intermittent fasting or like intuitive eating, or you just want to experiment with your eating windows. But typically I'm breaking my fast around like 1 to 2 p.m. every day, within that range, depending on what I'm doing in the morning. If I work out before, I work out fasted, it might be a little bit later when I do break the fast. So that's inching more to the 2 p.m. and on range. Then once I do break the fast, like with the smoothie or with the juice, like I get hungry like pretty fast. Like once my system gets activated, then like it starts telling me like, all right, we got to get food in us now. So then typically like 2 to maybe 3 hours after I break my fast is when I'm preparing that one cooked meal for the day. So maybe around like the 3 to 5 p.m. range is when I'm starting to prepare my cooked meal. Sometimes it goes on later, just depending on what I'm doing. And that's when I start to like feel it. I start to feel like my energy is dropping and stuff if I, you know, wait too long. But I usually get caught up with like doing work or like running errands or stuff like that in that window. So that can vary as well. But typically in that 3 to 5 p.m. range. Then for the smoothie bowl and stuff around this time, it's usually anywhere from like 9:30 and on. So usually around like 9:30 is when I start to get hungry for that smoothie bowl that I have every night. Sometimes I might not get hungry until much later in the evening, until maybe like 11:30 midnight range, just because like I'll have maybe eaten later towards that middle window, so like I'm fuller for longer, or the meal was really dense, so then I'm just not hungry until much later on. So that can vary as well. You know, I really don't follow too strict of a timeline with it or guidelines with it. I just really, like I said, just eat intuitively, let my body tell me what it needs, and just follow that. And it's worked out well for me so far. So I'm gonna get to making this bowl. Love Island is on. Also, can we talk about Love Island real quick? This season is nuts. I don't know if y'all out there are watching, but this is crazy. I'm an avid Love Island watcher. I've seen almost every season. I've seen every season except maybe like the first 2 or 3 UK seasons. And I've never seen a season like this, US one I'm talking about specifically. It's had me actually like upset at the show. I'm in too deep on the season now. I can't go back. So we're gonna get to that. But first, let's make our bowl.
I get in my feelings, yeah. I start reminiscing, yeah. Next time around, fuck, I want it to be different, yeah. Waiting on a sign, guess it's time for a different prayer. Lord, please save her for me. Do this one favor for me. I had to change my play ways, got way too complicated for me. I hope she's waiting for me. Everywhere she go, they playing my songs. That's why I say the things that I say that way. I know you can't ignore me. Yeah. So give me all of you in exchange for me. Just give me all of you in exchange for me. For me, break it down. Yes, sir. Check. We used to lay up and then stay up, had sex and then blow dang. I shouldn't have played no games with you, just leveled up my brain. Last time I saw you, we ain't speak.
change for the better. I know you know how to make me better. I was never loyal, let you tell it, yo, but I'm ready to fix it if you ready, baby. So, yeah. So give me all of you in exchange for me. Just give me all of you in exchange for me. For me. For real, shot. Yeah, I know.
All right, people, happy Saturday. As you saw, we started off the day with a bit of work, and then to break the fast, we started with that little smoothie. Again, just a great way to start the day, get your digestive system going, and sort of like prime your system before you start eating more substantial meals. And as you know, I like to keep my meals lighter later in the day. So that's either like a smoothie bowl, yogurt bowl, sometimes chia seed pudding, maybe even a smaller meal or a salad if I'm really, really feeling it. But I was about to prep this chia seed pudding for later, and I want to show you guys how I do it. This is roughly everything you're gonna need. This is a highly customizable dish, if you will. Whatever you choose to put inside the pudding itself is totally up to you. This is just what I have on hand and what I feel like putting in. But as you're watching this, just know you can just put the chia and hemp seeds together, mix with the liquid, and call it a day. Maybe with some sweetener if you want that too. So I'm just making mine in this like little chef's container, this like plastic pint container. Really easy, and like this is good for just like taking stuff on the go. But you can do this in like, you know, a big Pyrex bowl. You can do it in your mason jars, things like that. Chia seeds are the foundation of this dish, so you know, obviously we want to go with these first. I don't really measure this, to be honest, when I'm making this for myself. I do have a full written recipe for this though in my book. The link to that is in the description below, so you can check that out if you want. It's available on Amazon and wherever else you get books. A lot of other good recipes and wellness tips in there too, so definitely check that out. They're gonna expand a lot, so you don't need to put a ton, but I like to put about that much. Maybe this is about a quarter cup. So like with the ratios, it's like if that's one part of the chia seeds for the hemp seeds, I like to do maybe about like a half to a third of what I put in chia seeds with. There, you can see that. Again, this doesn't look like a lot, but it's gonna expand a lot once you put the liquid in. Some other things you can add in just for like other flavors, natural sweetness. I have these dried blueberries from Costco. I just put about like a couple handfuls. And once those rehydrate with the liquid that you put in there, it's gonna add so much flavor back into it. Then I'm gonna go in with these mulberries. You know I love these mulberries. So add some of those in. Again, another handful will work just fine. Then I'm gonna add in a couple dates. I just love the texture on these too. Once they get like soft and mushy, it's almost like you get a bite of like a caramel or something like that. Just cut these into small pieces, get them in there. And that's really it. Once you put the liquid in, it really dilutes the sweetness that you would get from these. So I just like to add in a little bit more maple syrup, just a little bit. You could always add more later too. And then for the liquid, I'm putting in some coconut milk, but you could do any plant milk or even just water is fine, especially if you're adding sweeteners in like this, like maple syrup or the dried sweet fruit. Fill that up. That wasn't as much, I'm gonna top it off with just a little bit of water. Then we just give it a good mix. And once it's all mixed up like that, you just literally put it in the fridge and just let it do its thing for like a couple hours at least until it starts to get, that pudding texture, get a little bit more like gelatinous. You want to leave it really runny as you're mixing it. Like before you put it away, you want to make sure it's really runny. That just ensures that there's enough liquid in there and that it'll all, meld together. As it sits more and as it starts to like firm up a bit, you can start to tell maybe like an hour or so in like what kind of texture it's gonna be. And you can always adjust it if you want. If it's a little too firm for your liking, just add in a bit more liquid, stir it around, put it back in there, let it sit. If it's a little bit looser than you'd like, add in some more chia seeds just so it can soak it up and get a little bit firmer. This is great for meal prep as well. You could portion this out into individual containers, set it in the fridge overnight, and then you have something just in the morning like this. So huge proponent of stuff like this. Again, as much cooking as I do and as much as I love to cook, I don't always like to be just in the kitchen making everything from scratch all day, every day. So things like this, batch cooking, meal prepping if you're into that, these can all save you so much time and energy, but also still not compromise on what you like and what you want to have. So that's that, and I'll be having this later.
There was nobody, no one that run me. So give me a run for my money. Sipping bubbly, feeling lovely. Living lovely, she's lovely. I wanna be with you, I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you, I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you. Me, just love me. If I didn't ride blade on her, would you still? If I'm in my mind. you still love me. Keep it 100, I'd rather you trust me than to love me. Keep it a whole 100, don't got you, I got nothing. I got something. Hold up, we gon' function. No assumption. Feeling like Tyson with it. Got out Tyson with it. Only for the night, I'm kidding. Only for life, yeah, only for life, yeah, only for life. Let's get it. Hit that shoulder, me. I know it coming over me. Backstroke overseas. I know what you need. Already on 10, all money come in. All feeling go out. This feeling don't drought. This party won't end. If I didn't ride blade on her, would you still? If I'm in my mind at work, would you still? Keep it 100, I'd rather you trust me than to. Keep it a whole 100, don't got you, I got nothing.
Run for my money. There's nobody, no one that'll run me. So give me a run for my money. Sipping bubbly, feeling lovely. Living lovely. Just lovely.
I wanna be with you. 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 I wanna be with you.
Me just love me.
I'm on the way. We ain't got no time to waste. Hop in your come on the way. Am I in the way? I don't want pressure you none. I want your blessing today. Oh, by the way, open the door by the way.
Well, it's about that time. It's the evening, so let's check on that chia seed pudding. Oh, this came out good. Oh, this came out really good, wow. You know, sometimes I'm surprised because even if you follow like a really strict recipe, you still don't know if the seeds are fully gonna take to the liquid without you having to adjust it, but this came out really good. You can take a look at what we're working with. The white chunks are just the fat from the coconut milk. Once you stir it up, those will break up, so don't worry about those, but everything's incorporated, everything's hydrated again. But I mean, look at that, that looks so good. And we gotta do a taste test just to make sure that our sweetness and everything's on point. Again, this is one of the easiest things you can make. Make it same day, you can make it for meal prep and put it ahead of time, whatever you wanna do. And I mean, this is so nutritious too. You have plant-based protein in here, fiber, healthy fats, antioxidants. It's really well-rounded. Plus this helps too when I'm feeling a bit lazy and I don't wanna make a whole bowl every single night. So this will last me a few nights. So I'm gonna have a bit of this now to finish out my day. You could also top this with just some fresh fruit, nuts and seeds if you want, some granola. It's really customizable, as I said before. So, and with that, you've seen what I've eaten in a few days now with somebody who's plant-based, prioritizes digestion, energy optimization, nutrient density. So if you watched this far, I appreciate you. We locked in now. Thank you so much. If you watched this far and you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Join the tribe. I really want to tap in with y'all. And I'm not want to get too fixated on numbers, but we did cross the 10,000 subscriber threshold. And that really means a lot to me, you know, like it just means a lot to know that people resonate with the way that I choose to approach my lifestyle. And hopefully it lends inspiration to everyone else in some way to make a better decision for themselves, whether that's going plant-based or not, or just taking more accountability for how you want to feel, sticking with a new habit, whatever the case. So I appreciate y'all watching and I'll catch you guys on the next one.